Oh, we go now to Timaru, south of Christchurch, which is exactly what Timaru is hoping we'll do. The east coast city, urban population roughly 30,000, halfway between Christchurch and Dunedin, 2 hours driving, not an hour. South of Christchurch, as you'll hear me stupidly assert during this interview, is on a recruitment drive to get Aucklanders to fix its self-declared worker shorter crisis. And it's doing so by erecting promotional billboards in Auckland and mounting a Facebook campaign. We want you, Aucklanders, in Timaru. I spoke to Nigel Davenport, the Chief Executive of Aoraki Development, earlier, and asked him, in fact, yesterday, and asked him what jobs are on offer there at the moment.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, John, we've got a hugely diverse industry base in Timaru. We're not a dairy town or a farming town. We've got some of the biggest international and national food processors in our region. You know, your Fonterras, your McCain's, your DB's, and they all need a variety of skilled workers, from lab technicians to process workers, other businesses. We need teachers, we need nurses, we need doctors. It's right across the board. And, we're after people that are sitting there in Auckland, looking at having to save for about 15 or 20 years just to get a deposit, or sitting in traffic for, a couple of hundred hours a year. Thinking, geez, there's something better, and we've got it down our way. So they need to have a serious look at us.
And so you are targeting basically everyone, really? So there are jobs for everyone?
Oh, look, there are jobs across a variety of sectors. Obviously, the initial bit of the campaign is focusing on, those that are wanting to get onto the property ladder or a few rungs up the career ladder. But, they may be young people with families, or those into their careers a number of years. So, the variety of roles, I suppose, but the variety of businesses, whilst it's a big strength of the region, our diversity of our industry sector, it's also our biggest challenge, because those businesses across all those different sectors need a variety of roles, so a variety of people.
So, Nigel, you're whacking 2 billboards up in Auckland to show people what they can get in Timaru.
Yeah, look, exactly, and it's going to be supplemented by some Facebook, on our Facebook page today was the launch of the first video, which was a couple of young families that have shifted into Timaru talking about their experiences and saying that their families up north can't believe that the quality of the home that they can get, the bang for the buck. And it'll be supplemented as we go a bit further with us, further telling people what a great place this is and why they should seriously consider us.
I'm looking at one of the billboards and it says, "We love our first homes," and it's got on it $350,000 median house price. And then there is a picture of a gorgeous villa, with the classic villa with the bay window and the deck along the other side. Yep. Don't tell me you can get that for 350 grand, can you? Is that a $350,000 house?
I'll tell you what, John, you and your listeners need to jump on our Facebook page and have a look at the video, because the young couple that are in that house are showing us through it, and it is phenomenal. And that's a prime example of what you can get down our way. So, that 350K, that's probably about a third of the average Auckland house price, I would have thought.
Yeah, so you were selling the fact that there is work there, and also the kind of simple things that people hope for, because most people, aren't after terribly much, but they'd love to own their own home, and they would love to not spend an absurd amount of time stuck in traffic. And the other point you're making is that the average commute time is 7 minutes, right? So they're really strong selling points. If those things are facts, and clearly they are. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to attract people? What is it about the pull of the big cities that makes it hard to get people to communities like Timaru, where there are jobs, where there are good, cheap homes, where there is a quality of life which is enviable?
Yeah. Oh, look, it's definitely enviable, and they definitely are facts. We wouldn't be putting them out there if they weren't. And look, I just think it's a case where people, they get into a certain lifestyle or a way of life, and they just, they can't see the forest for the trees sometimes. And our campaign is there to really, not too subtly open their eyes to some of the stuff. And it's things like, it's a great place to bring up a family. We're a fantastically safe community. We've got outstanding schools, great sporting facilities, We've got some outstanding residents that have lived in Timaru and gone on to bigger and better things like the Tom Walshes of this world, and Hayden Patton, he's from down our way as well.
Owen Marshall, the writer, Owen Marshall, he's a Timaru boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. Yeah, we've got the best hot cross buns in the country, voted this year as well. So it's all happening down our way.
Jordan Luck, was he from Timaru, the dance exponents?
Yeah, Jordan Luck's from the Timaru district. He was born out Geraldine way. Yep, most definitely.
Say no more. So, and I don't want to say that one of the great things about Timaru is that you can get away from it. But how far away is Christchurch? It's not much more than an hour's drive, is it?
Hey, settle down, John. Yeah, no, look, we're smack bang in the middle of both Christchurch and Dunedin. You know, they're a couple of hours either side of us.
Oh, right, okay, sorry everyone. Yeah.
You're all right. We've got the best of natural NZ on the doorstep. And look, that hour surf to snow, we've got our central lakes up through, you know, the Lake Tekapo's of this world and a bit further on to Benmore and that as well. So, you know, everything is there. I've got mates, they ring me up in the middle of winter and they've been on the webcam for Mount Dobson and saying, hey, look, I want to be up there in an hour. Are you free? And unfortunately, I've got to work for a living and they send me a pic in an hour's time and you sort of go, wish I was there with you. So.
How is life in South Canterbury? What is the economy doing?
Oh, look, the economy is fair bubbling away. We don't, because of that diversity of our industry, we don't have the ups and downs of other areas in the country. You know, the dairy payout dropped a bit a few years back, and you know, we didn't have the peak and trough, I suppose, of, you know, people look at the GDP, and you know, we didn't have the peak and trough of other areas. So. You know, life is excuse the term, but life is bloody good. And, you know, we're saying, where would you want to be? You know, why would you want to be anywhere else? And it's not us, you know, we're out there saying it, but we're using people that have shifted to Timaru recently or, you know, a few years back or have been here, you know, a number of years. And they're the ones that are saying, well, hey, it's pretty good here.
Nigel Davenport, on behalf of Timaru.